Welcome to CrashMagic. Today we're going to look at the card trick, the Amazing Aces. Just going to give the cards a quick mix. And now, if you could split this pack into 4 separate piles. So, if you could start by splitting this pack in half and putting half there. That's great. And then if you could split this pack in half and put half here. And finally, if you could split this pack in half and put half here. So we've got roughly 4 even piles now. And of course you could have split that pack at any point, but I'm going to take the top card from each of these piles. So we'll take this one, this one, this one, and this one. So we've got the top 4 cards as so. And let's take a look at the top card of the first pile, and that was an ace. Okay, let's see what the top card of the next pile was. Also an ace. Top card of the next pile, ace as well. You did a really good job of cutting these cards. And finally, the top card of the last pile, also an ace. The Amazing Aces then. Really nice trick and simple to learn. Very simple setup. You just need the 4 aces on the top of the pack to begin with. So if you set up the pack like that, and you could go straight into your trick, or of course you could do a couple of false shuffles or false cuts in order to keep the aces there. Okay, and place the cards down on the table and ask the spectator to cut that pack into 4 piles. Now normally when I perform this, what I like to do, because you don't want your spectator taking some and then switching some back and all these things, what I normally do is show them how I want it splitting. And in doing that, that also adds a little bit of extra confusion in that they think the pack is getting mixed more as well. So what I'll say is that I'm going to show them how I want them to split the pack, and that I want them to split the first pack in half and put it here. Then back to this pack, split this pack in half and put it here, and split this pack in half and put it here. And of course the main thing that you need to do is just track where the pack is with the aces on top. So now you've shown them, you can gather the pack back together so that they can do it. And so it's important here to not make it obvious that you're putting this pack back on top. So you just group the cards together in sort of a random way. And as I say, that gives a good impression that again it's the order of the cards they feel is not important. So now you can ask them to repeat the way that you've split the pack. So again, if you direct them to split this pack in half and put half here, split this pack in half and put half here, and split this pack in half and put half here. Again, it doesn't matter. I always follow the same routine, so I always know where the pack with the aces on top is, but it doesn't matter how you do it as long as you just track your pack and know where it's going to end up. So once they've split the pack into 4 piles like that, and you've reiterated to them that they had a free choice and where they split the pack was up to them, if you take the pack with the 4 aces on top, and you're going to tell them that you're going to take the top card from each of the piles. So slide out the top card from this pack, take the top one from this pack, the top one from this pack, and the top one from this pack here. So you have fairly got the top 4 cards from each of the packs. Of course, 3 of the cards are just random, and the 4th card from the top of this pile is actually an ace. So what we want to do now is, at the moment the ace is on the bottom of these 4 cards, we want to get it to the top, and we'll also be wanting to take a finger break. So as you've taken the 4 cards, get your finger ready to take the finger break, and then also count off as you've taken the 4 cards, then say, so we've got the 4 cards, 1, 2, 3, 4, and you can actually count like that. And obviously doing that count has now put the ace on top of those 4 cards. And you can then place the 4 cards back on top of the pack, holding your finger break underneath them. And so then you can say, let's check the first top card, and that was an ace. And then you take the ace and secretly the 3 random cards as well, and you place them on top of the top pile. Of course, because you're taking the ace quickly and putting it back on top of the pack, there's no way that they can see that there are 3 cards hidden underneath that ace. And of course, as soon as you've done that, you're now clean, in that the next 3 cards on top of your pile are the 3 aces. So you can just continue the trick to say, now let's check the next top card, and that was an ace, and place that down on top of the next pile. Let's check the next top card and place that on top of the next pile. And I don't know if you see, I think it's important as well to keep the dealing of the cards consistent. So if you remember with the first one, we had a finger break, we turned it over and we were concealing cards here and we placed it down. I think it's really important, and it's much more deceptive if you keep that style of dealing with the rest of the cards. If you then start dealing in a different way, it might look a little bit obvious. So yeah, so again with the next one, keep the routine the same that you showed. This is the next card, take it off like this and put it on top of the pile. And then of course with the final pile, you can say, and now let's check the final pile, and again it was an ace on top. Well, I hope that tutorial was useful. Let me know if you've got any comments, thoughts or suggestions. It's a good trick to learn and perform, and it's a nice one for the spectators to see, especially as they have the power to split those 4 piles exactly where they want. Well, that's the end of my video. If you liked it, please like it and subscribe, and see you soon.